Hallo, ek is Edie. Welkom by my kanaal waar ons als saam doen. Welcome to your first 50 Afrikaans verbs video. In this video, I try to give verbs that are straightforward and simple. Verbs that you will likely use often and verbs that aren't too ambiguous. Some of them have a little bit more meaning, dual meaning, or a bit more intricate, and those ones I will explain in more detail. But for the most part, they are straightforward, simple verbs. I also give examples, Afrikaans and English, but I give examples, sentence examples, and those I will read to you. The Afrikaans ones I will read to you. And then I will also read the verbs in Afrikaans and explain them if necessary. And then after this, there's another video that I will post in a couple of weeks' time that contains another 50 verbs. And those verbs are a little bit more intricate, maybe a little more ambiguous, not all of them. And the next one also contains some simple verbs. So this video doesn't contain all of the easy or needed verbs in Afrikaans. Although all 50 of these are very useful, the next video also contains 50 very useful verbs. And then obviously there's a lot of verbs that I can still provide in a video after the second one. All right, so let's start with the verbs. We have two verbs. The first one is eet. Eet is the Afrikaans verb for to eat, the action of eating. In the example at the bottom left, you will see I provided ek eet my kos. And the English translation for those are both the simple present English translation as well as the simple continuous English translation. If you have watched some of my previous Afrikaans videos, you will have noticed that I said Afrikaans does not have a dedicated continuous tense. So the present tense verb eet is used both as present tense, simple present tense, as well as the continuous tense. So the sentence in the bottom left says, ek eet my kos. And when translated, it is, I eat my food as well as I am eating my food. That goes for most of the Afrikaans verbs. There are ways of saying a verb in a more continuous way. For instance, you'll say, I am busy eating my food. And in Afrikaans that is, ek is besig om my kos te eet. But the verb eet does not change form. It remains just eet. So you can learn all of these verbs as the simple present as well as the present continuous tense in Afrikaans. And it'll just be eet. And that goes for all of these verbs in this video. All right, and then the second one is drink. Spelled exactly like the English drink, but just pronounced a little bit differently, drink. And the example, bottom right, is ek drink koffie. Sit. Sit. Same in English and Afrikaans. This is the action of sitting. So to sit down, that's a different verb in Afrikaans, as well as to stand up. That's also a different word. The one I gave here, staan, is the action of standing. But to stand up in Afrikaans is a different verb. And then the examples, die vrou sit op die stoel and die man staan langs die kar. Lees, to read. Skryf, to write. Sy lees 'n boek. Hy skryf 'n storie. Bel. This bell is the verb specifically for call, to call or calling with a phone. A phone of any kind, or if you're calling somebody online using Skype or a platform like Zoom, then it's the word bel. And in the example, it says, ek bel my ma met my cellphone. So remember, this call is the bell specifically for calling with a phone. And then leer, leer is for to learn. And the example, die studente leer nuwe woorde. Leer can also be used in the context of to teach, but for the sake of this video, when you learn this verb, learn leer specifically in the context of to learn. To teach has more than one verb that you can use depending on the context that you're using it in, and I will look at to teach in videos and future videos when I look at verbs that are a little bit more ambiguous or complicated. Droom, to dream. Ek droom wanneer ek slaap. Dink, to think. Ek dink oor baie dinge. Loop, to walk. Hy loop op die sypaadjie. Hardloop, to run. Hy hardloop vinnig. Praat, to talk or to speak depending on how you use it in the sentence. The examples are hy praat baie, which means he talks a lot. And then praat harder, which you say to somebody if you want them to speak louder. And then the other one is sing, which is spelled exactly like the English sing, but just pronounced differently. Sing. Ons sing 'n liedjie. Swem. To swim. Ons swem in die see. Gesels. To chat. Ons gesels lekker. Now, lekker is that word in Afrikaans that is used for many, many, many things. And you'll see as the video goes on, lekker can be used in all kinds of contexts. There's no specific translation for lekker. Lekker is a combination of it's good, it's nice, it's tasty, and it's used in all of those contexts. So remember lekker, it's a very, very Afrikaans word. I think actually it's also used in Flemish, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe in Dutch, but I'm speaking under correction. But lekker is one of those words in Afrikaans that is just used for everything. Koop, to buy. Ek koop kos. Verkoop, to sell. Ek wil my kar verkoop. Sien, to see. Sien jy daai groot boom? Kyk, to look or to watch depending on context. Ons kyk TV. Hoor, to hear. Ek hoor geluide. Betaal, to pay. Ek betaal my skuld. Vra, to ask. As jy hulp nodig het, vra net. Antwoord, to answer. Antwoord hierdie vraag. Baklei, to fight. Vyande baklei elke dag. Vergewe, to forgive. Ons moet mekaar vergewe. Begin. That's just exactly like the English one, except pronounced differently. Begin. Die vertoning begin binnekort. And then eindig. To end. Kan die storie so eindig? Bestuur. This is to drive when you're driving a car or any vehicle, but then it can also be to manage or to run a business of some or other kind. This is a little bit of a loaded verb. I did add it to this video, but it is, I think, the most loaded one in this video. So the examples, ek bestuur 'n motor. That's just your simple, I drive a car. And then ek bestuur 'n besigheid. That could be I manage a business or I run a business. I think I will touch more on this in future videos, especially when I start to explain how to change verb to past tense or how to change a verb to future tense. But for now, you can just learn this verb as definitely one to drive or to manage or to run, but specifically in the context of, let's say, a business empire of some kind. And then we have ry, which is to ride. And the example there is ek ry perd. You'll see in Afrikaans we say ek ry perd. We don't say ek ry 'n perd. In the English it's I ride a horse, but that a horse, the a is left out in Afrikaans in this specific sentence. Ek ry perd. Geniet, to enjoy. Hy geniet lekker kos. Voel, to feel. Sy voel nie lekker nie. Soek, to search. Sy soek na 'n nuwe werk. Vind, to find. Waar kan ons goud vind? Vlieg, to fly. Die vliegtuig vlieg hoog. Spring, to jump. Die haas spring hoog. Hou van. Those two words, always use them together if you want to say you like something in Afrikaans. To like. Ek hou van. Ek hou van hom. Ek hou van pizza. Ek hou van movies. Ek hou van olifante. So that's how it's used in the present tense. Yeah, so remember, always hou van. The verb hou is a completely separate concept, completely different verb, has a very different meaning. Hou van is a very specific meaning, to like something. And then help, which is pronounced the same and spelled the same in Afrikaans, help. Ek help my ma. The last two verbs for this video, lag, to laugh. Sy lag lekker. Glimlag, to smile. Sy glimlag. Thank you so much for watching this video with me. I hope you learned a lot of new werkwoorde, as we call verbs in Afrikaans. I hope you guys can make a lot of new sentences now, and I'll see you in the next Afrikaans video. And remember, in future, in a couple of weeks' time, I will post another 50 verbs video, the second 50 verbs video. And then maybe, probably, sometime after that, I'll post a third, and I'll just have to go check, but maybe a fourth one. All right, have an awesome day, and I see you guys soon.